Dum, 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 dum,
Space between, space between, space between.
Space between.
What's going on? It's the Space Between podcast, where we talk about the space between life and art, passion and business, what's happening now and what's happening next. I'm Pat Shand.
I'm Amy Shand.
and I'm Shannon Lee.
And we're just here to shoot the shit this week, you guys.
Pretty much. We have a few ideas.
We do have a few ideas, and it's spinning out of a concert that we all went to.
Storytelling?
Some storytelling. Oh, wait. What? Oh, no.
What?
We didn't say
Oh, Ryan.
where Ryan is.
Where is Ryan?
Our fourth member, Ryan, is again not here this week. And unfortunately, he has been sucked into the TV, horror movie style.
Oh my God.
And he is currently living in episodes, reruns of Rocko's Modern Life.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Throwback. Okay?
I mean, he might be enjoying that.
Right.
He
I
might,
would.
you know what, though? That show kind of scared me as a kid. It was a little bit, I don't know, it was a little bit adult for me as a kid.
It kind of was, yeah.
And now looking back, it was adult in ways that I didn't really expect. There's, or understand. There's this bit going around where Rocco was a phone sex operator at one point.
Stop.
Yeah, check it out online tonight, you guys. As a matter of fact, you guys listening, pause the podcast, type in Rocco's Modern Life, sex worker, and see what comes up.
Well, now that you said that, it reminds me that one time at one of my previous jobs, I was trying to call the store operations phone number, and I accidentally got one number wrong and called the sex operator.
At work.
Yeah, and I actually yelled out loud like oh, like a shocked like noise, and customers did turn and look at me, and I just started cracking up, and I was like, I'll tell you later to like my other
That's so
associates.
funny.
So good.
Yeah.
I've never called a sex operator.
Yeah,
Actually,
to be at work and then have someone be like, "Hey, baby," I was
Oh
like,
my God.
"Oh my God."
You know what, though? Shannon and I, when we were working at Borders, we didn't have any sex operator situations, but we did have a masturbator. You remember?
Oh my God, this is what you're bringing up right now. Oh my God. This is like another level of disturbing, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah, he would habitually go in there.
Yeah, the thing
It was
is,
his spot.
it was back
What
by the
section?
children's section.
Yep.
God.
Yep.
I mean, he wasn't in that section,
Right.
but like the chairs were
Yes.
like kind of,
Yes.
facing in that direction. Yeah, and he would use magazines or books to like cover his groin area, and then we would walk past to go to the back
Real
rooms, and
sneaky
we'd be
guy.
like, something is going on.
Oh, yeah.
But the last time he came in was we finally like drew attention to it, and when he was leaving the store, one of our managers at the time tried calling the cops, but the cops didn't get there quick enough. The guy was already leaving, so he met him at the front of the store and was just like, never come back here again, like
I know what
very-
you're doing. You know,
yeah.
this is not the place for this.
yeah.
You know.
And the guy was just like, okay, or something, and like walked out or like nodded
He's
or
caught.
something.
He's done.
I mean, what else could you say? You
Yeah,
know?
he was like, I thought I'd give it a try.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, boy. Has anything ever happened to you like that at your job, Amy? Jobs?
Nothing over the top like that, I wouldn't think. Just, like, I've definitely been harassed at work. Like, remember my old store, the coffee shop in Claremont?
Oh, that guy who came up to
Yeah,
you?
there was, like, people that would, like, there was one guy who would, like, he made, like, a rude, nasty comment about me dating you, actually.
Oh, I remember.
what the
I remember.
hell?
He was really gross. Like, he would always come in and just be really, like, he had dark hair, like, that was slicked back, and he was old.
He was a short, troll-looking bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was, like, old, and he was just really creepy to the girls. And, like, one day, after he had found out that Pat and I were dating, because it was, like, an open thing around the store, he came in, and I was on my day off. And I came in to get coffee, and Pat was, like, working or something, and he said something along the lines of, like, oh, like, you should let a real man hit that or something
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
So not only was it offensive and creepy to me, it was like offensive and insulting, like rude to Pat.
Yeah, for
too.
sure.
So, otherwise, we haven't had any, not that I can think of really, and I'm probably sure I would be able to think of it.
You know, yeah.
What about the past with like modeling gigs and stuff like that?
I was trying to think back because I listened to a podcast, My Favorite Murder, and they always have like hometown stories of like, so I was trying to think of this person's name because when I was like 18, I remember.
Great podcast.
Yeah, it's so good. I remember when I was first starting to like modeling, I was in San Diego and I went to this like photographer's house and I'm trying to remember his name. I still can't because it was so long ago. I want to like look up his name to see if he ever like got in trouble.
Yeah.
Because like one time I was like 18, I went to LA like super silly, you know, thinking like, oh, this guy wants to take my picture. Like I'm a model.
Just to interrupt for 2 seconds, if you guys hear,
Oh my God.
I'm not sure if you guys can hear
I
that
hope they can
howl.
hear that.
That is our
How
cat.
can they not?
That's our cat Hoyt. I hope the mic is picking this up.
He sounds insane.
He's in his terrible goddamn twos.
He really is like a toddler right now. He's horrible. Pat gets no sleep because of him.
I love him so much. He's my best friend in the world. But he literally tortures us. He just will howl like a demon. So if you guys hear that, that's Hoyt.
Yeah.
Nice to meet him.
Yeah.
Go on.
So
Sorry.
when you were 18.
Yeah, so I drove to LA and like I went to this like it was like the location where we were meeting and we took some pictures, whatever. Then he offered me, he's like, oh, you drove from LA, you can totally stay at my house on the couch.
What?
After he had taken my picture in like, you know, bathing suit style and I was like, you know, an exotic model, you know, or whatever. And I'm like, no thanks. And I went home.
Red fucking flag.
Right.
Big red flag.
So I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if anyone ever said yes to him.
Yeah, it's like trying to come off nice of
Right.
like, but I don't know you, so it's not nice.
And it's like a professional setting. And
Yeah.
I've definitely had people offer weird things online as far as like blurring the line between professional setting, like offers as far as like, oh, come do this and I'll pay you this much. And then they're like, oh, but then we're taking pictures of this, this, and this. And I'm like, no, bro, like that's not what I agreed to, and I'll never. And then I just won't go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some blurred the line. There's Hoyt
That
again.
was loud.
That was a good one.
that was
he's
an
close
angry
now.
one.
He let a good one off.
He's approaching us now with his demon.
Yeah, some were blurring the line, but some never even knew about the line, and we're just like miles beyond it.
And I hate when like quote unquote professional photographer starts a conversation and doesn't call you by your name. They'll say, babe.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
God,
sweetie,
Yeah.
babe.
Fuck that.
That is not professional at
No,
all.
definitely
Yep.
fuck that.
And I'll reply immediately with, my name is Amy.
Good.
Like,
Well, I remember that you guys sent me a conversation that
or I'll post about it sometimes.
that you
'cause I'm-
had during like a DM type of thing on Instagram or something, and somebody said that Pat like wasn't allowed to come along or something,
Right.
and it's like you're allowed to bring like even a security
type
guard
of-
if you wanted to, but it's like this is your husband
Mm-hmm.
and he was driving you, like he's your
Right.
escort there, and the guy didn't feel comfortable with Pat being there, which is like, you know.
Yeah, I can't.
Which he
see...
then explained is because he's had too many like overly protective boyfriends for no reason that
Yeah, but why
go
were
with bad
those-
intentions.
Yeah.
But like you should, and I feel like you should trust me enough as a professional model to know that
Right.
whoever I bring with is not going to change the way I work.
And safety
So-
comes first.
Right.
Yeah, and why were those other boyfriends getting aggressive with him? Did he already cross a line with those women or something?
Right.
I don't know.
I do think
But
though.
boyfriends can be silly when it comes to
Yes.
nude modeling, especially because I am a nude model, you know, and I get paid for like art modeling and studio modeling when people want to photograph like a nude body or whatever. And so, especially being like a young female, I think that it's just simply my right to have my husband with me, you know, while you're taking my picture.
For sure.
Like, I'll still pose the same exact way. I'll still do my job the same way. The pictures that these people saw that wanted to hire me were pictures that were taken while Pat was in the room. So it's nothing different. And then they, if they expect something different and they hide it in the beginning, and then they're like, oh, but you need to pose this in this way with whatever prop this is, they'll be saying. And I'm like, no.
The fucking dudes, yo. I've seen it before, and I've had conversations with guys who don't like the idea of dating someone who other people can see her nude. And that's crazy to me. That's very possessive. And I've never felt that way.
Because when I met you, I was already modeling. So that also, you were like, oh, cool, you're an artist as well. The end. Right.
I think some guys are just very possessive. And I think that they don't see it as art. And so I understand a photographer being leery about boyfriends if that's what he's experienced. However, I stand by safety has to come first. You know?
For sure.
And there's no way to...
As Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstark would say, SSDGM.
Say it.
Stay sexy, don't get murdered.
That's great.
What?
That's great. You know what? You didn't mention, and this ended up to be okay, but we had a pretty murdery conversation with a photographer. Amy and I, we were on the way to this photo shoot. It was at a hotel.
Where this photographer was staying because he was in town.
Yes. So it's pretty standard, right?
Yeah, and it was his hometown.
Yes. We go there, and just casual conversation goes down. Amy asks what he's doing there at the hotel, and he says that he is testifying in a murder case.
He has to be in his hometown for a murder trial.
He is an eyewitness to a goddamn murder trial.
My goodness.
Right?
So I'm just sitting there ready to pop off, you know? But it ended up being okay.
Right.
He was one of the photographers. What I've noticed is that some photographers can meet Amy.
Really weird, though. I'm
It's so
sorry.
weird.
Like, to go in to get photographed and then be like,
Yeah, it's like, maybe don't share that.
Yeah.
Right. Like, maybe I wasn't really asking why you're here.
You're just making conversation.
Just like, oh, I'm staying at a hotel. It's fun, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need...
It's my hometown. Simple as that.
I don't need fucking American Crime Story.
Yeah,
okay?
not you're my next victim.
No.
Like, whatever.
But yeah,
Anyway.
What I've noticed is that when Amy models, great photographers are able to see that she's a pro and just step back and let her do her thing and direct lightly. Some photographers, and I'm going to even say most, would you agree, have
Totally.
a heavy hand in how they tell Amy to pose.
Really?
And Amy's best shoots are always the ones where she just does her own thing.
Yeah, because then that's the natural flow of what you feel is right in the moment. If you're being forced to do something, then that's, you're like more like contorting
and
yourself.
some people
into
have
a
more
different
of like
position.
a theme in mind as far as like pin up and stuff, but my favorite is when I get to pose in like interesting yoga positions and like make shapes with my body and stuff like that. So,
and by the way, I want to get back to Hoyt, okay?
You should see him now.
Yeah.
Our beautiful
Hoyt
black cat.
This will be the theme of the podcast is you should see our cat right now.
Hoyt is in my lap, twisted like a worm. He keeps squirming around.
I want him to howl right now and into the mic.
I just want to say, I don't want the first thing you hear about Hoyt to be negative. Hoyt is the best cat. He loves us so much. It's just that he has been a little terror in the mornings. But he brings so much joy to our lives.
That's true.
He's a young boy.
He is young. He's growing up. And recently he got a new baby sister, so he's overly excited about that.
Very.
They're quite in love.
We have gotten so far off from when we first started.
I know, we literally...
The Tegan and Sara show.
Hey,
we
shoot
started
shit,
it with a
right?
concert.
The Tegan and Sara
speaking
concert.
of popping off. Just kidding.
No, speaking of popping off. So, Amy and I got tickets separately from Shannon, right?
Yes.
You had a little group that you went with, right?
Oh, we were all separate too, though.
Okay, okay.
Tegan and Sara brings people together.
It's true.
Yeah, we were like, oh my god, everyone we know is going to this concert.
Of course.
So Shannon was not sitting with us, so she had a great experience.
Yeah. Nothing went wrong.
When Amy and I went into the show, well, first, just some background. Tegan and Sara, favorite band. My favorite album of theirs is The Con. It's one of Amy's favorites too, but I think that you prefer So Jealous, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
sorry, I
she's
nodded yes
here,
because I forgot that you can't see us.
Maybe one day you will, though. I'm hoping to have videos someday.
We're pretty. We have a few videos online and stuff.
I just want you guys to picture what you'll see if we're on camera. Amy right now is wearing a cat hoodie where she has a pouch like a mother kangaroo, and
that's what I am.
And she's just gonna have cats in her pouch when she's on video.
Cats or rats, you know.
Probably cats.
I love my
We
rats.
digress. Tegan and Sara show. My favorite album is The Con, and the show was the Konnex, the 10th anniversary of the Con. Tegan and Sara performing the entire album, beginning to end.
We were very excited.
Acoustic. So excited. I couldn't have pictured a better idea for a Tegan and Sara show. And when we got there, it was a beautiful theater.
the theater was amazing.
Gorgeous.
Like an opera was about to happen in there.
The architecture, it was like really old, like classic style. There, you know, like when it like
The
the building
scrolls?
on the inside, there was like scrolls and there was those big pillars. It was like, it reminded, if anyone knows what I'm talking about, it reminded me of like the buildings in Balboa Park, San Diego, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So
It reminded me of a Renaissance painting of a theater.
yeah,
You know?
it was like tiered, and the top level had the seats. Oh, it was so pretty.
You know,
there was curtains.
The tears, yeah, it was. The tears made everything that Hoyt's freaking out.
There was a
Hoyt's
lot
going
of
for the
like
mic.
there was a lot of like arches inside that had like curtains for no reason but were really pretty.
And every
know?
seat was good. I was up higher, but I
You
could
see
still
it
see
from
great.
everywhere. It was wonderful theater.
In any other concert, I would understand what happened. But this was an acoustic show, right? Very quiet show.
It was called, what was it called online? An intimate show?
Intimate, yes. So the only voices we heard were Tegan and Sara and their backup singer. No one else besides who I'm about to introduce into the story was singing along. It wasn't a sing-along show. Normally,
because it was a seated
Yes.
show. It was more
No one
paying
stood.
respect to that album that kind of started their career,
Yes.
at least
Exactly.
in the spotlight.
yes, it was a very quiet, intimate show.
It was supposed to be like a lovely, cathartic, entrancing almost experience.
Yes. I'll say again, normally when Tegan and Sara come out, everyone stands, everyone stays standing. It's loud, everyone sings along.
Yeah.
This was not that, right? So we heard Tegan and Sara, we heard their backup singer for the few songs that he was involved in, and above all, we heard
A drunken bitch.
the drunk girl screaming along the wrong words behind us. We couldn't hear a word of the song.
Not like behind us, the seat behind us.
I felt like she was inside of me.
into our ear hole.
Felt like she was inside.
I did.
She was
Oh my
inside
God.
of us.
I felt that because I literally couldn't hear what Tegan and Sara were saying or singing, and it became
Which is crazy. 'cause-
Drunk Girl featuring Tegan and Sara,
Oh my God.
the alt con.
Oh my
Because the
God.
words, she didn't even know the words, you know?
Oh God. Yeah, because by me, like Pat's saying, it was quiet. If anything, some of us were just like whispering along some of
Yeah.
the songs, but yeah, it wasn't like
Like
that.
a nice collective whisper.
Yes, but
That's
like
beautiful.
I can't imagine what it was like to have somebody.
I have video of it,
Yelling.
but I'm not even gonna bust it out.
No.
I can't even.
Well, and the
I can't
thing
even
is,
relive it like that.
You guys said that she wasn't even just singing the words, well, even the non-words, but that she was doing
In between the songs.
yes, like
She
like
was
Lil
yelling.
Wayne.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
yeah.
I know. Oh.
Oh, she
Oh
was
my
the
God,
hype
Shannon.
man.
Yeah,
She was
hype man, like
hyping the
pop
songs,
off.
like
Yeah.
like for example, like in between each line, she'd be like, "You what?
Yeah.
Oh, and like
How?" Like just screaming like she's at a freaking
Which
rap
is
concert.
very disrespectful. This is not the
No, no,
place
no.
to be doing that.
the last non-Tegan and Sara concert I'd been to was Drake. At Drake, I was doing that.
Yeah, that
Everyone
would make
does
way
that.
more sense there.
Oh yeah, Demon just got out the can. Oh, you know, like
Right,
But-
but not this.
no, so not this, not.
I was getting so fucking pissed.
It was as if she had been birthed into existence to fuck with us. And
and
what ended up happening was the girl next to her said, can you bring it down for literally 10 minutes?
Yeah, that's the first question I asked you guys was like, did anyone else say something?
Yes.
And you said, yeah, the girl
I wasn't
right
gonna.
next to
Well,
her.
first it was funny because like she was yelling things in between songs while Tegan and Sara were talking. She was yelling things that didn't make sense, like weird, loud, shrill phrases, like "love wins."
And you know what? Love does win.
Exactly, but it wasn't the right place for that.
This
But-
is so
right now.
random, though.
But when you're calling
Tegan and
love
Sara
wins,
talking about touring 10 years ago, and you're
Yeah.
yelling "love wins."
and like you yell love wins once. Oh my God, you guys hear that? That's Hoyt. This is the Hoyt
He
episode.
sounds
It is.
like he's fighting with something, but nothing is there.
He is alone.
Okay.
So I'm totally okay with the idea of shouting out love wins, because you know what? Fucking it does.
If
okay?
something overcomes you and you yell because you're feeling it and you're at a Tegan and Sara concert, yes.
Yes.
But over and over again,
No, because Tegan was telling a story about how she hurt her shoulder, and we literally couldn't hear it because love was winning behind us. You know?
and
my
so
God.
Pat and I began to laugh out loud.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
Before her neighbors behind us asked her to be quiet.
All you could do is laugh, you know?
Every time, I wasn't going to say anything. Every time she would say something, I would literally just laugh out loud.
Oh my
To the
God.
point where, like, hopefully, because it was obvious, she knew we were laughing at her. So then,
She didn't know.
She was so
Spoilers,
fucked up.
She had no
Right.
clue.
Oh my God.
And
'Cause
so
she was
then-
in her own world.
On world.
the girl next to her goes, "Look, can you please, like, tone it down for just 10 minutes? Like, please." And she gets so... And so I turn around and I'm like, yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but please be quiet. Like,
And I turned to and said, yes, thank you.
yeah.
And
And
this girl-
everyone else probably was thinking the same
This
thing.
girl could not fucking take that critique.
She
Right, Hoyt?
begins to drunkenly frickin' like talk to her cousin who's sitting next to her about how, oh, they just don't understand. They don't love Tegan and Sara as much, so they don't understand, and like this and that, just loudly not stopping.
Yeah, she started to chastise the girl sitting literally next to her, like just touching elbows. Just talking shit, you know?
God.
And then,
I turned around.
yeah, Amy took it upon herself. And once this was on, I was like, well, no going back now.
It was towards the end of the concert, and I turned around with my phone and I took a flash photo or 3 of her and her cousin sitting next to her, and I looked her in her face and I said, I'm taking this photo so everyone that I talk to and tell this story to knows what you look like, because you are so loud and so obnoxious. And that's when her cousin took it upon herself to be like, you know what, this is the first concert she's ever been to.
No
Da da
excuse.
da. And I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and plus, she was grown.
Yeah.
Right? She wasn't like
They
she was
were like
13
30
years old. They were my age. They were
Yeah.
our age.
That's really weird.
So
and
weird.
like you doing the photo was like a wake up call of like
I just wanted to
listen,
embarrass her.
Yeah, like
I never
you have-
posted it or even looked at it
Yeah,
again.
it's like you guys have annoyed us this entire time. You want me
Yeah.
to do something annoying
Right.
back? Like here's a big flash in front of your face.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah. And they came very close to a fist fight
She,
in church.
we started using profanities towards each other, and I started personally attacking her, as I do because I'm very feisty. And she like
ruined
started
your whole
like
night.
yeah, she brought her open palm like towards my face and stood up, and then that's when Pat stood between us, like he usually does when I get into situations like this,
And I said, let's go.
and escorted me out.
I said, let's go.
she needed to be escorted out.
Seriously.
Really?
On the way out, we told security that she was acting a fool.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know what, though? Look, can I say what she said about you?
That was hilarious because she just, first of all, I'm sitting next to my husband. Yeah, so I have short hair. Yeah, so I'm at a Tegan and Sara concert. But I turned around and started like telling her that she was obnoxious as fuck and that she was like basically a stupid bitch. And sorry, excuse my French.
French it up.
Or whatever. But I was yelling at her and I was just saying that, like along those lines. And she like drunkenly with her eyes like fucking rolling like this. Ugh, so annoying. She goes, "Oh my God, you're pretty racist for a lesbian."
Which is so out of
What does
context.
that even mean?
And
Yeah,
it doesn't even make
Like,
sense.
so she's
at
so out of
all.
context in every single way.
It was so bizarre to me because, too, like, all right, it was dark in there, but from my perspective, she looked like Fran Drescher's The Nanny. Okay? Like, I don't know why.
I think she just assumed everyone around her was a lesbian because she was like straight and naive and stupid.
I mean, I thought she was like a drunk white girl. Like,
That's why I think she pulled whatever she
So
wanted
weird.
out of her ass to like.
Yeah.
She was speaking in just like slurs,
speaking in
drunk
tongues.
slurs the whole time.
You know what? Sometimes when I'm so angry, like I just think of the worst thing to say. Maybe the worst thing she could say is "you're a racist," even
right.
though we are of the same race.
Yeah.
And nothing that you've said has anything to do with anything
race.
except my screams.
Yeah, but no, that's right. Like she was like, "What's something really nasty I could say?" And that was it.
Yeah.
But it didn't even apply to the situation.
I mean, like,
She's dumb as fuck.
I was sitting there like, how does she know that Amy is racist?
Excuse me?
Just kidding.
I
Oh my
am the
God.
furthest from. So that's why it also didn't make sense because you could have videotaped or recorded me yelling at her and it had literally nothing to do with that at all.
I mean,
At all.
all you were doing was sitting there in your Make America Great Again hat.
No.
Please.
Oh my God.
Fucking please. But yeah, like, come on.
Well, that makes me think of, like you say, like just thinking of anything to say in the moment. At my job recently, 2 customers got into a fight in front of me and the other cashier, and we're just watching them. This was incredibly uncomfortable. Usually, you know, we're fighting with them or something, but instead
Right.
the 2 customers are fighting.
That sounds fucking delicious.
Oh,
That's
it was
like
great.
when someone rear ends someone in the drive-thru.
Oh my
You're
God.
just like, God
Oh,
damn it.
shit. Yeah.
But they kind of thought of like, what's something bad I could say right now? And one of them just goes, "You're fat," and the other goes, "You're ugly," and like that's how this like fight went and
Okay,
like
now we're in
ended. And it
third
was
grade.
just like,
Oh
what
my
are 2
God.
strangers gonna say to each other? Just something mean, fat, ugly. Like this is
Nasty.
all we've got. Like
That's
so-
all you know about each other right now.
Right? Exactly. So I don't know.
That reminds me of my favorite ever fight at the coffee shop that Amy and I worked at.
Okay.
Hoyt's trying to climb onto the mic, you guys.
He wants to be a star.
So listen. I was working a closing shift. Hoyt, get down, buddy.
Maybe he's hungry.
No, he's not hungry. He ate less than his time ago.
He's hungry for attention.
He is very hungry for
Ooh,
attention.
yes.
All right, so coffee shop. I was working a closing shift, and there was this drunk guy who had been getting over and over refills. Just his little free refills because he had the Starbucks Gold card. It was Starbucks.
Drunk on
Fuck
that
it.
Starbucks Gold.
Drunk on it, you know. Oh my God, Hoyt is crazy. All right, this is a very Hoyt-centric podcast, and he's making it that way. Okay.
That's the title of the podcast is Hoyt.
This was such a beautiful sequence of events. Okay, so there was a young guy there who he had the misfortune of falling into this drunken man's sights. Okay, because the drunken man was just sitting there, just fucking ice grilling everybody, just this mean mugging, just looking
For no
around,
reason.
just like a fucking eagle, just waiting for some beef, right?
Just drunk and angry.
Just drunken anger. So this guy, like, the kid maneuvers past him, and the guy gets up and says, "You fucking touched me."
Oh my
and,
God.
and the kid's like, no. I was just moving past. He goes, "No, you touched me."
Oh my God.
You know, and he starts to get in the kid's face, and we start to just talk to the kid who's trying to ignore this guy who is literally touching him, like chest against him, and the kid walks out in a rush to not have a fucking fist fight, okay? And as the kid's walking out, this buff, gigantic, Aquaman-looking motherfucker walks in with a kid in a stroller. No, you know what?
No, it was in his
He
arm.
wasn't in the stroller. He was in the kid was in
He
this
was
guy's
like holding
arm.
a toddler in
Yep.
one arm.
He was in the arm. I remember that.
Because the best part's about to come. The line. the line that
Oh, yeah.
fucking draws it all together. All right, go ahead.
All right, so the drunken guy is going after the kid who's leaving to fight him outside.
He's following him outside.
Follow him outside. And for some reason, As he passes this muscular guy, he whispers something fucked up to him.
Uh-oh.
And the guy just like pauses. He says, "What did you say?" And the drunken guy's like, "Bleh," you know, and he's like, "You're gonna insult me? You're gonna insult me in front of my fucking son?"
Ooh.
And then he goes,
This is like a scene out of Sons of Anarchy.
"Oh my god, so good." And you know what? The best part is, this all happened for no reason.
Just
You
the
know,
drunken asshole.
there was literally no reason for
Just
any of
escalated.
this beef. So the drunken guy holds out his son over the counter to my coworker
To like hold my
and
kid.
says, "Hold my son."
Hold my kid.
Yes.
Basically, he's like, hold my
This
baby.
is like hold my earrings when girls go to fight.
Yep.
Be like, yo, hold my baby.
Yep.
Yep. He fucking he has his fucking defensive stance, fists held up. The drunken guy goes to the retail section to grab a coffee cup to smash over this guy's head.
Holy shit.
And they start fucking scrapping. Blood on the floor because you
No.
know who fucking won that fight. You know?
Yeah. Aquaman.
The dad. Super dad. Obviously.
Aquadad, who just came from the gym, fucks this guy
This
up.
kid is going to have
Yo.
some fucking stories to tell his friends in second grade.
He just fucks this guy
Oh
up.
my god.
My coworker's holding the baby.
She's just like, oh my god. Holding a baby in one arm, making coffee in the next.
He throws the guy into this poor college girl who has some tea by her laptop. The shit spills. It is a mess, but I couldn't help but really enjoy that.
Holy shit. Did you ever find out what he actually said?
No. No, the guy left in a huff.
Oh my god.
You know, he took his son
I
back.
wonder what he said.
Yeah. I feel like it was probably just like something about him being fit. Like, look at this buff guy or something. And then like
move
what
meathead,
do-
you know?
Yeah,
like
move meat. Yeah,
it's
something,
just something.
like
Just something.
You just
something
nailed
dumb.
It was probably something like move meathead.
Yeah.
I actually almost had some beef myself. Oh!
it. What are they eating?
You guys keep talking. I'm going to take care of the cats.
Something is wrong with our cats right now. They won't let up.
Now they're eating
What are they eating?
some
It's a piece of plastic.
pieces of plastic.
Hoyt is going away.
All
Hoyt
right.
is
So
going
Hoyt,
into a
the
timeout.
star of the show, is going into timeout.
Yeah, he's done.
Into timeout.
We're done with him right now.
Like we said, you're going to get to know the cats, so we know Hoyt's a bad boy.
Right now he
And-
is. He's in his terrible twos.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hoyt will put himself into danger just for attention.
Yes.
Like he was just trying to swallow a piece of plastic. It was one of those plastic loops that keep tags on clothing.
Yeah, yeah.
He was just trying to gobble that shit down, so he would choke, and then we would run to save him.
Yeah,
He
and
likes
when
to
I-
hang off the loft.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, he like danger hangs off
Yeah.
of the awning.
His two front paws hanging off. He looks like a freaking bat.
It's so much for me to take. I actually almost got into some beef myself. You know what? I have gotten into a fight before, but the one that is coming to mind now, because you know we're in the holiday season, and the way this resolved, I still remember to this day. It was pretty fun. I was on my way to my then job as a professor, and I stopped for a bagel. I had just enough time to get a bagel. I parked in a spot in the parking lot, got the bagel, got in the car, found that my car was blocked in by someone who had decided to just pull up right behind me and leave the car there. In the parking lot that had empty spots. I was pissed. So I went to the bagel store.
course.
I was like, hey, who owns this car? Nothing. I went next door to the laundromat. At this point, I admit I was raging. I said, hey, who owns this car? There's a guy all the way in the back who said, oh, I'll be out in a minute. You know, he's being rung up. I said, right now.
Oh my god.
And he said, I'll be out in a minute. I said, right fucking now. Okay? So he comes out.
Pat's so scary when he's mad too.
He's
It's
raging.
Like so funny.
He's-
Not funny, but funny after.
He's like, you couldn't wait. You couldn't fucking wait. I'm like, yeah, I couldn't fucking wait. You know?
Like you chose the worst place to park.
Right.
Yep.
Like,
And I thought when he got out the car and walked back past me to the laundromat that we were going to get to scrapping.
oh boy.
But instead, he stops the car just so I could pull out. And he leans out and he goes, you know what? Merry Christmas, man. It's the holidays.
Oh my God.
And
stop.
I couldn't process it, so I said, you too?
Yeah.
Like,
Still fuck him.
no, definitely still fuck him. I mean, I hope that he didn't have a great holiday, you know, because
No,
he fucked my
he
shit
got
up.
in his car and he had a change of heart. I think he realized, he's like, wow, I really did park in the worst spot or something.
You know what, though?
That's what he should have said then.
This
Yeah.
brings up an interesting topic, though. After you do something that bad, right?
When you're like completely in the wrong.
After you choose, instead of walking literally 30 more seconds, if you choose to block someone in, do you then ever have the chance to redeem yourself? That
Yeah.
seems like one of the worst things
That
you
was a
could do.
conscious decision he made. So, yep, still fuck him.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a hell,
He'll be there.
I'm pretty sure he's
Bad
We're
parkers
horrible
go
people.
there.
Like whenever someone like cuts us off or is like a total dick on the road, sometimes Pat and I will just be like, they'll die someday.
Oh yeah.
Someday.
No, you know what? It's true.
It is true.
It's a
Yeah.
true thing. When someone fucks us up on the road, just go, I'll die someday. Because
Makes you feel better though.
it isn't a
It's
threat.
like,
It
it's
isn't.
not you that will kill them.
It isn't hoping they'll die.
Right.
It's
You
just
just
the
know.
objective truth.
And now this moment at that time won't matter.
Yeah,
Is
true.
the point of that.
Because one day,
Oh my goodness.
I mean, the sad part though is the same is true of us though. One day we'll be gone.
Oh my God.
It's true. At least we'll have recordings of our voices.
Yeah.
I mean, we won't have that.
My
The-
nieces
the
and
world
nephews
will.
will. My brothers.
So, are you guys? Because I am, but are you scared of death?
Oh, this is turning into this now?
I think so.
Oh boy.
Just because whenever I bring it up, I can't think of anything else.
I know. See, well,
He's got to flesh it
Pat
out.
totally does. And he's told me this before, that
He's
you're
super scared
super
to not
scared.
exist.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I don't think about it that much. Or well, maybe I've come to terms with it. Like I feel I don't know. I was never in that much denial of it. Like,
Right.
oh no, maybe that won't happen to me. No, it's like
I mean,
very
it
much-
will for sure.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So
But
I'm just
what
kind of
is it,
acceptant.
though, right? Like, what do you think it is?
Who knows? Well, my thing is, oh my God, I don't want to jinx myself by saying it, but it's like I'm drinking all this Long Island water. And I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
probably down in some chemicals over here. Gonna end up with some type of cancer or something. Knock
Oh,
on,
I'll definitely
knock
have
on
cancer,
fake
yeah.
wood.
Stop, you guys.
Yeah.
You started it.
Well, no, I know, but I'm not
talk
talking
about
about the method
cancer.
of which you die.
Oh.
I'm talking about. Well, are you scared, Amy?
To die?
Yeah.
I'm scared of the way. I don't want it to hurt.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like conscious and sad. Like I want it to be just like peaceful.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys are focusing on the event.
That's the thing.
I'm
That's
talking-
the only like
Like,
Because-
what do you believe, if anything, is next?
oh my god, this
So
is a
now
whole
we're
nother
going. Okay,
podcast.
we're going
Why?
into.
Because it's huge.
All right, Trump, how huge is it?
With my Make America Great Again hat.
Oh, yeah.
At the Tegan and Sara concert
Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
in New York City.
I feel
Okay.
like people are going to think you actually did this, though.
I didn't wear that hat.
No, it was
I don't
just a
own
joke.
that hat. Okay.
You know what? If
I
we
did
can-
not vote for Trump.
If we can get fan art of someone who wants to draw Amy
Oh my
in a Make America Great
Oh,
Again hat,
that's terrible
I will
fan art.
post that.
That is terrible
If
fan
you
art.
draw
Wait, can she
that,
be naked
then draw
in
a
it too?
torch in my hand, lighting the hat on fire.
That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Anyway, I believe in like.
I hope someone does that.
Oh my god. Okay.
The first person.
To answer your question and not begin a whole nother podcast, I don't believe that when you die that you're completely gone. I feel that certain people and entities who are able to communicate with you after death will be able to contact you if they want to. And I feel that reincarnation is probably true.
Amy's talking about some goddamn aliens right now.
No.
It's a controversial subject, but that's what I think. I don't think when you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah, I don't think you're gone because your energy is left behind. You're a ball
And I
of
think
energy
you can
right now.
cultivate certain amounts of energy throughout your life.
Yeah.
Like if you don't cultivate much energy, like if you spend your life, you know, like just sitting on the couch not doing anything and like in your mom's house or whatever, like no offense to anyone, it's really expensive to live, but you know, if you don't like use your energy and put it out into the world into a positive way that can be cultivated in something that can last, like, okay, so I make clay, so whenever I pass away, all those things that I have made, they all hold my energy in them.
Yeah.
So there's no way that someone who doesn't try hard enough to feel me or even my touch wouldn't be able to. I don't think.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah.
All right. This
Pat
to me
just pictures a black hole.
Yeah, he's
no.
Well,
it's just like
that's what I fear it is. I don't want it to be, and I wish that I could say I don't think it is. I just, it's such a point of anxiety for me that I can't process what I logically think it is, because I'm just so hung up on what I hope it is not, and what I hope it's not is just nothingness, because that to me would be the worst. Well, it would be eternal torture is the worst, obviously, and then just nothingness is second worst. And I just want to take this opportunity to say to a guy I normally respect, I have to say fuck Neil deGrasse Tyson because
Why?
because
oh my god.
I watched this video.
He was so sad when he watched this.
I watched this video. I clicked on it. It was titled something to the effect of, "If you're scared about death, this will make you feel much better."
Neil deGrasse Tyson explains what happens when you die. Like, here is the answer.
No, it was much closer to what I said because I would have never clicked on what you said.
Really? You didn't want to know and just click it?
I clicked on it because it specifically said, "This will make you feel better."
Okay.
Got it.
That's why I clicked it.
Okay.
Because that is my central problem
You're
in
like,
my life.
okay, boom.
Yes.
Awesome.
I clicked it, and the exact fucking opposite happened.
I can't believe he clickbaited you like that.
Well, the thing is, he genuinely... Hold on. Amy, can you take care of this?
Yeah.
Our other cat, Odo, is picking up things in his mouth. This is a straight up fucking rebellion, okay? So, all right, click the video, and the thing is, it wasn't clickbait. It was honest. Neil deGrasse Tyson 100% believed that this is a comforting idea. He said, "The essence of you doesn't die. It passes on." I'm with it so far, okay? I'm fucking with it. He said because when you die, the elements of which your body is comprised of are very similar to the dirt, all elements. We all come from the stars, right? So when we die, our bodies rot and we feed the earth and we grow the trees, we grow the plants, and our bodies are in the earth that grows from us. And that's the whole fucking thing. We're trees. Excellent. I feel so much goddamn better.
As if nobody has thought of that.
That's, first of all, exactly.
We know,
it's the simplest fucking thing. It's not comforting.
No.
It's like what your science teacher tells you.
It's the exact thing I fear.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is everyone's science teacher, though, so.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, I'm not sure if you titled the video because it was on World Star Hip Hop, and I don't think that you are an admin at World Star Hip Hop. But if you have any control over your content, you'll make sure that you retitle that video "Depressing Ass Explanation That Everyone Already Knows About Death."
Man, you let Pat down.
You
Really did. Really did.
did.
That caused, if anything, it increased my death-fueled anxiety tenfold.
Oh,
Death-fueled anxiety. It's the name of your new book.
I hope it's not. This is taking a turn.
Certainly is.
I blame you, Trace.
Yeah.
Should we go to questions?
Yeah, let's do the questions.
Yeah, you know
Maybe
what?
there'll be some positive questions for us
Maybe
to
there'll be
turn
some
this
positive
around.
questions. The first question
Are you
comes
afraid of death?
from
Just kidding.
from Pat Shand. What happens after you die?
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
All right,
Can't escape it.
so we have two questions today.
Ah.
The first comes from Lindsay Santos. Lindsay says, "If you had the opportunity to create or work on your own TV show, other than a possible Clonsters," that's for Amy, "what genre would you want to venture down first and foremost?" Since it was posed about Clonsters, do you want to pop into that first?
I want to pop into that.
Well, she did. She said, other than a possible Clonsters, because we always say, like online and amongst ourselves that Clonsters would be such a cool cartoon.
That's
Right,
what
yeah.
I was gonna say. Like, I want Clonsters to be real.
Yes. For those who are unfamiliar, Clonsters is a graphic novel. It's created and co-written by Amy, co-written by me. It's
Very translatable into.
Oh yeah, I think it will make a great animated movie or cartoon,
And
TV series.
We always do. We say that it's similar, not similar, but like it has the feel of like Adventure Time and All Real Monsters. But lately, with the kids that I nanny, I've been watching a lot of SpongeBob, and like especially when they go underwater and like the characters and stuff, it reminds me a lot of SpongeBob, and that really excites me. So.
Well, yeah, and the troll movies, the Smurf movies.
Right.
I mean, it is on trend with anything out there right now. I think it would be perfect, and yeah, I wish someone would pick that up.
But otherwise, like other genres, although it's really popular and stuff, I would love to do like a supernatural one because I love and I wish that like magic was real, and I always say that.
I feel like Amy and I are co-writing another book coming up soon called Prison Witch. I feel like that could have the potential to be a TV series as well.
Yeah, it's really character driven too, so you could I could see myself like casting actresses and actors for that.
Definitely.
So.
That just made me think of, well, Pat used to write for Van Helsing, and that now became a TV series.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? I've never spoken about this.
Yeah.
I've never publicly spoken about this. I was for a time a staff writer at Zenoscope Entertainment, and while there, I co-created a concept with Ralph Tedesco and Raven Gregory, Van Helsing. And obviously it's based on the character from Dracula, but our character, Liesel Van Helsing, is that character's daughter. And we invented an entire storyline for her. I wrote the first 4 series based on the character. I created her voice. I wrote her entire world. And Sci-Fi Network picked up the series for a TV show, which is now in its 2nd season. I will admit I've never seen it, but I've been told that they changed everything. It's entirely different. And in fact, her name isn't Liesel Van Helsing. It's Vanessa Helsing for Van Helsing.
Oh,
which I don't know about that, but it's kind of crazy that the creator of the show is Neil LaBute, who's a playwright I learned about in college. So the idea that a comic that I wrote has been turned into a TV show based on my work, but written by a guy I learned about in college is kind of crazy to me.
That the idea is spawned from you and your story and everything, and someone had to have read that and been like, oh, this would be a cool TV show. Although they did change it, the beginnings of it, like the seed of it, is thanks to you, which is really cool. Maybe,
that's
like not maybe, but someday definitely I want to check it out.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll probably watch it one day.
Totally.
I mean, they try to act like it's not because of Zenoscope's book, but I mean how did they get the idea, At
first they didn't have the credits as they do now, but on Netflix, and I believe in the Blu-ray if they have that, but at least on Netflix, the credit has been changed to based on the series by Zenoscope Entertainment.
Oh, good.
So that is there now.
Yeah, because it's like it sparked something in them to make the series. Yeah. So Pat is the reason. Pat already has a series now.
So yeah, I mean, hey, Van Helsing team, if you want to hire me to get into your writer's room,
he's super down,
and turn the series back to what you expressly chose for it not to be, then I'm your guy. But personally, if I could do a TV show, I would love to do just a drama. Some of the best shows are just dramas about people, and I would love to do maybe a Long Island based drama.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh.
Or maybe a Long Island based horror and a 2 shows I'll take. I'll just do 2 shows.
I mean, if I was to do anything, it would have to have a female lead because of Buffy. So
I would do a Long Island based criminal drama with supernatural effects about...
Are you having a seizure?
No, I have so many ideas. I want to put gang involvement in there, murder, crime, Long Island, and magic.
So basically, Long Island's history.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, because especially, can we just cut that whole thing? I sound like an idiot.
No, you don't. Stop.
Long Island has such a long history. It's so old, especially like East County, you know, with there's just so much history and a lot of broken down like neighborhoods and buildings and stuff and ghost stories and everything like that. So
For sure.
Now, our next question comes again from Matt Ruiz, our Modern Dread fan. Matt has a general question for all of us. He says, who is your biggest influence in the industry right now? And I'm going to probably narrow this down to comics, probably, you think Matt's going for? Which is hard for me because I tend to pull my influences from other media. Like we talked about Tegan and Sara. I'm very influenced by Tegan and Sara's work. I'm very influenced by Joss Whedon's work in film and TV. Very influenced by J.K. Rowling in prose. As far as comics go, Kieran Gillen, who is doing The Wicked and the Divine, is a great big influence. Alan Moore always has been. Noelle Stevenson, who wrote Lumberjanes and Noella. Terry Moore. Gotta say Terry Moore. Terry Moore, who has had to me an unequaled career in comics. He has done some freelance work, but his primary body of work has been his own titles. He did, I believe, 90 plus issues on Strangers in Paradise. He wrote and drew that from Jump. Then he did a nice long run on Echo, his own creation. Moved on to Rachel Rising. Is now finishing up his current series, Motor Girl, and is now returning in 2018 to the series that started it all, Strangers in Paradise. And I'm so excited. He is a gigantic inspiration, both as a writer, artist, and just a person.
he even did that little Sip Kids thing.
Oh yeah, Strangers in Paradise. Sip Kids was a spin-off of Strangers in Paradise that reimagines the characters as kids.
And I also really like when we go to conventions to his table, he puts out books every once in a while about how to draw.
Oh, his sketchbooks, yeah.
Yeah, he has sketchbooks and he also has tutorial books.
He does.
On how to draw, like, the human figure.
He's great.
And stuff like that, because I think he's such a great artist. And he's really inspirational as far as, like, entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And that word is hard to say.
I thought you nailed it.
Thank you.
I was just thinking, you know what? She shot for it. She got it. I would have fucked it up. Entrepreneurship is what I would go for.
Yeah. But yeah, he's great.
He's a nice guy too. And just I have found that sometimes, not to generalize, but the interactions that I've had with the old guard of comics, I find that some of the older creators tend to be confrontational with new creators. And that is...
Like you're encroaching on their territory.
Yes. And that is not true of Terry Moore at all. Terry Moore is a blessing, and...
He probably goes home and is like, he'll die someday.
Stop. Terry Moore is great. I'm 100,000 billion% sure he has no idea who I am. So
I know, and I'm always like gushing at him when I meet him, and he's always like, "Who is this weird person?"
No, he's not. He looks at you with kindness.
I know he's very kind. He's really nice.
So how about you guys?
Comics. It's hard because I'm not really up on the comics lately because I've been so busy with work, which is a bummer. And I'm thinking that I should start bringing some issues to my babysitting shifts, although I'm really enjoying the podcast, so I don't know. But anyway, most of my inspiration is like musical. In comics, I want to say that my biggest inspiration are so far and lately are people that I've worked with, like directly and personally on my own stories.
Yeah.
Specifically Vanessa Cardinale. I think she's super awesome and great and inspiring. The artist on Clonsters.
Yeah. And
my musical inspiration lately would have to be like Kimbra, because she is a wonderful vocalist and lyricist, and I love Julia Easterlin and Ed Sheeran.
Ed makes the list.
And he's a vocal looper.
That's right, he is.
That is. Yeah, that's true.
Big Ed. You know what? My mom loves Ed Sheeran.
She does. That's why I love him too.
Because he reminds her of me.
It's the ginger beard.
It's the ginger
that red
beard,
beard.
and it's the he's so very short like me.
Oh yeah.
He's
So
bite-sized.
cute.
Yeah.
Aw.
How about you, Shen?
Same as it being something different, like you're saying music. I mean, I like to see character development, so I'm heavily influenced by watching things on Netflix, like
Us
Jessica
too.
Jones, Stranger Things,
Right.
old series of Buffy and Angel, like to see that translated into comic form and getting to know characters on a page is very influential. And then, like Amy said, I mean, actually the people that we're getting to work with, I mean, artist-wise, that's super inspirational. And me and Pat and Amy too, I'm sure, like use the social media outlets to search for new talent, and we're constantly finding different artists on there. Those people I don't even know by name yet. I know them by their like Instagrams or stuff,
totally,
but they're very influential.
Yeah, and I feel like to elaborate on what you guys are saying about being inspired by collaborators, right now on Destiny New York Volume 2, which I'm currently writing, the artist on that is Rosie Champy. And Rosie is a very different artist than the artist who drew Volume 1, who was Mamo Pertano, right? And I find that I'm writing Destiny New York differently because of seeing her work.
Yeah, and it'll keep changing.
Oh,
Every
absolutely.
time that there's somebody new that you're working with, it definitely changes the storyline.
And I think that comics is a bit unique in that, because there are so many levels of writing where I'll write a script and then the artist will draw it, and then I'll rewrite the dialogue over the artist's work. So I think that because of the progress of steps and the just direct collaboration, it makes the writing different than any other media that I can think of.
Yeah.
And you guys,
Thanks for the questions.
Yeah, all good questions, and I think that might actually be it. What did we talk about? We talked about just beefing, right?
Yeah.
Just conflict. We talked about murdery photographers. Talked a lot about Hoyt, and Hoyt talked back.
Oh yeah, this episode was actually about Hoyt.
This episode is brought to you by Hoyt. This has been the Space Between podcast. What did I just say? This has been the Space Between podcast.
I missed it.
It's like I don't really know the title. This has been the Space Between. Are we sure?
Question mark?
Are we sure? This has been the Space Between podcast. You can follow us at Space Between Ent on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Maybe.
If you want to have your questions answered, you can hit us up there or email us at spacebetweenent@gmail.com.
We think.
Maybe. So again, thank you for listening, and
Bye.
bye, you guys.